Well, how's it going, Kingsmen? Welcome back to another Napoleonic battle. This is the Grand Battle mod for Napoleon Total War, and we are on Borodino. This is a 4v4, and this was a very awesome battle. I got to play in some insane plays. You can already see the artillery on both sides just raining down hellfire on each other. Some unicorns firing, just popping in, dropping some shells on this French force that's advancing. Ooh. Man, are they getting hits with this? But anyway, like I said, 4v4. We had 4 Russian armies versus the 3 French, 1 Bavaria. And I believe we actually are having some fighting happening right over here. So yeah, we had Russia set up here on the flank. We had a Russia in the center, Russia on the right flank. And then me in a reserve. I had to rush my troops forward to reinforce. You can see already on this flank, you have skirmishers and infantry already starting to shoot. We have artillery setting up on some earthworks. At least let's hope they can get set up, start shooting. You have artillery from the French already. You can see firing over here. This battle's kind of popping off real fast here. Oh! Nice cav charge there, going against the skirmishers. More cavalry rushing out here. So I mean, I guess it's not. Oh no, I didn't realize he lost his artillery. Well, it's unfortunate. It was a nice snipe by the French, getting the Russian guns, making it very difficult for them. Very early on, getting a nice, and even artillery being gone, the infantry can't really form a square. Of course, there is cavalry that's trying to beat them back. Russia's still trying to form up in a line of fire here. You have a French army way over here on the flank. And now on the other side, you have a vicious-looking advance being made by the French. A lot of Polish, a lot of infantry in general, just light infantry. They, of course, will be facing a very fortified Russian position. Man, I'm missing stuff over here, aren't I? Looks like, yep, we have a bit of a cav clash here. Cossacks charging in against, I believe, some light cavalry. That's so fast. I think I finally managed to catch them with my cav. But yeah, the left side holding. The plan was to have the left side hold. I was going to come up and reinforce wherever needed. Right side obviously holding with their massive gun battery, defending this right flank as well.
Running, sir.
I believe that's my light Cossack cavalry that breaks, but I'm still chasing them down. You see Russia, look at all these guys. Look at all the force. Now I'm not sure what's going on with the flag. I probably have a texture pack problem. That's an on me kind of problem. Another general here, Kutuzov. I believe I brought Bagration. The real fight's happening over here, guys, where Russia is kind of duking it out with the French. We obviously broke that French force. Some Russian sappers of mine that really deployed pushing up here. Usually, in hindsight, 2020, but usually, you know, you don't try to hold this side too well. We fall back to the river. That was our plan. If he gets pushed too hard, to fall back to the river. Obviously, with reinforcing armies so far away, yeah, it's a very precarious point. The French have to push very hard before the reinforcing armies can push up. You can see the French are kind of biding their time right now in the center. I mean, Russia has a nice defense position, even has these reabouts they can put people up on and just start shooting away at the French. They are starting to advance, though. And I obviously was trying to get my artillery up, hopefully set them up here, protect our flank with just mass amounts of guns, and then send infantry where it's needed. Well, right now it's just mostly artillery dueling it out. Look at these guys. Got some fancy looking hats, man. Oh, shoot now. Alright, so we are starting to see a quite significant force from the French. Looks like some Ledoux, some Grenadier Cheval. You have some Swiss infantry, some Polish infantry, some light infantry. Man, they got everything pushing on this flank. Light infantry as well. Some skirmishers basically in the center. This is actually light infantry that can like do a light infantry behavior formation. This was an insanely close battle, though, guys. It came down to it. I mean, it came down to some insanely tough fighting happening in the center. Now, obviously, these guns would be able to help the Russians hold a little better, but it's just a massive screen of skirms, basically, on the front. Now, we do have France pushing quite aggressively here, so that's why he's thrown up some of his German Legion. So these Russians are forming up, pouring in some fire. These howitzers, or unicorns that he brought, had like this cool canister thing that just showers. Of course, it's not super accurate. He did sink a lot of money into upgrading them and chevroning them up, but, you know, more and more French starting to make their position here. This is probably when we should have had him fall back. Like I said, hindsight's 20/20 in a battle, right? Like, we probably should have had him fall back at that point. There's a huge concentration. Look how beautiful that looks. And ignore the little black patch in the flag. It's just so awesome looking.
Attention, canon, les gars.
And you know how I feel about the Swiss. Here they go. They're going to be pushing in on this line. Oh, a cav charge going in on the Russian line. Unable to form a square. These are looking a little bad. The morale's starting to waver. Infantry now coordinated with them, starting to push forward. This is where Russia should be falling back. Just call the retreat, especially now that, look at this. There's another French army pushing here. So there's two French armies pushing on one Russian army trying to hold this small little area. This is bad. That's not a good thing to see. We have artillery set up, so pretty soon this French army is going to be getting hit by a lot of guns. And that should help defend. Man, it's so beautiful looking. Some dismounted dragoons. Not a whole lot of Russians. I mean, there's a lot of Russians for the most part here, but, you know, we're kind of hiding behind the hill, not even using our full strength. Over on this side, Russia's getting pushed pretty hard here. I sacrificed my sappers to try to save him so we can start falling back. Because cavalry and infantry's going in. They can't form a square anyway. So I was like, whatever. Just leave them. Do what they can. Of course, they're probably going to get tossed to pieces by some heavy cavalry from France. But Russia's falling back. Hopefully they can continue to fall back. Obviously, France is pushing on multiple sections here. There's a lot of troops pushing. Ooh, we even have artillery getting charged here. Now, the one disadvantage, guys, with a 4v4 here, there was a lot of lag in this game. You're obviously not going to see it. But there was a lot of lag in this game. It was so hard to get units to go. I mean, both sides were probably experiencing an insane amount of it. But yeah, we have, you can see Russia just falling back. He's just going to get, unfortunately, mobbed up by the French. Squares, of course, being formed. We're pushing up cavalry. You know, you have to make it defensive to defend that. But then, of course, we have a French attack of cavalry basically along the line. And not enough Russian cavalry to kind of counter that. Oh, man, I got the sound bug. But now Russia's in full retreat here, trying to get back
Our
across the
men are
river,
running, sir.
make their stand. We have a vicious cav fight going on. But at the same time, guys, we gotta check this side because stuff's raging. A raging firefight here. Looks like we have some cavalry from Russia charging in. Now there are some squares defending it. Ooh, that's a nice shot. I've even been covering this side. I don't think a whole lot was really happening. France was kind of going back and forth. Mostly artillery is just my artillery and other artillery is just trying to keep this lane free from enemy advancement. You know, try to keep them away. Let our infantry, I mean, you can see, though, France is just pushing on all sides. Man, I wish the sound would get fixed, man. This happens, I feel like, every time. We got a lot of French pushing. This is an all-out French attack in the center/left flank here. For the most part, we have gotten the lines across the river here. Now, we have some stakes that were deployed, so you can see the overview here. Things are looking like a lot of pressure here, a lot of focusing in the center. I have shipped my entire army over to support this side of the hill, or defensive line. But France has massed up quite the large attacking column. They have Old Guard here. That's always a tough thing to see. More infantry advancing over that hill. More Old Guard over here. They had a lot of elites stacking up. We have more cavalry probably trying to go for these guns. Still a fight waged over this reabout. We're, of course, winning. We have artillery just pummeling this French line. They're not able to do as effective a fire. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to be everywhere at once. You can see this French line, ooh, is advancing. Like a lot of fire being poured in here. Russia is still getting hit pretty hard. France pushing quite aggressively still. You have cavalry on the flank still. Just, we need cav over here to defend our flank. That was the problem. We did not bring enough cavalry to deal with the French cav. Trying to get my men into position. France, though, is starting to utilize this gap in the line. No shooting really happening here to start pushing forward, unfortunately. I think he pulled his whole line this way, and I was rushing to try to get my guys into position. You can see the lags hit me. I'm like trying to click and getting them in the wrong place. Let's see if we get the sound back again. Look at this line firing though. I did throw my lifeguard in to kind of try to stand the ground. I have the guard, basically. Yeah, I think there's just so many units, guys. It's kind of difficult for the sound to actually catch. But yeah, France starting to push forward here. More infantry just pouring in fire. I got my light infantry up, pushing up musketeers. I have a reserve lines. I have grenadiers. I have a whole light infantry detachment. We are starting to get into melee here. Charging against some grenadiers. My ally also charged in for melee here. Over on the flank, looks like cavalry really crushing this flank from Russia, unfortunately. But we are starting to win here. I do have the Kiev Grenadiers. A melee starts in the center. Just so many units here focused in here.
Our men are running.
Just so many elite infantry from France. The center was breaking, and that's when I started throwing forward my Russian musketeers. trying to throw forward anything and everything I can, trying to hold this line. I think I even go for a bayonet charge here in the flank, trying to roll that flank back. Over here, you can see still just a bit of a line fight. Far flank. Just a bit of yeah, they're just point blanking each other. Kind of a brutal point blank fire, man. But there's an all-out melee here in the center. Just everyone's going in for bayonet charges. You can see we're starting to turn the flank. These grenadiers going in. Russia is managing to hold fast. He has some more reinforcements pushing forward. Barely holding on. He's still in melee over here. He's getting shot in the flank by infantry. And Old Guard, of course. Of course, the elites. But you see, I'm starting to break the flank. I'm barely holding on in the center line with my ally. We are barely holding on to this fight. It's becoming a bit of a madhouse. Also, my ally is getting pushed as well by infantry and cavalry. He's trying to form up, but they are starting to tear a hole in the center line. We are starting to push them back. I got a nice flank going, but I should have kept pushing, and I didn't. I wish I had. I really, really wish I had. And I'm sorry about the sound, guys. I'm not sure what to do about that, but it only seems to work when you sit there. Russia's holding for now, but I've, you know, just barely. Got more cavalry charging in. Russia's throwing in their reserve musketeers as they're starting to break. This line's still holding for France. Russia over here is breaking some of the French units, but things are looking pretty dire as our center is just a mass of. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's okay. Hold on. That's cool. That's like a freaking painting. But unfortunately, I had to pull back this flank that was working so well for me. I was getting flanked here. My ally over here, you can see he's starting to run low. He's fighting probably some very good Polish infantry. And his line's starting to waver. They're tired. We have friends routing. Here in the center, we're just starting to break. Probably because there's a square sitting behind my lines. And at this point, we've basically wasted almost all of our infantry, or all of it's almost entirely thrown in here. There's not a lot left. Russia's still holding the reabout, but I mean, even here, he's kind of struggling to hold off. This cavalry's been fighting him for quite some time. We have some Old Guard charging in. Looks like he has the Life Guard sitting up here. Artillery is, oh yeah, it got charged by bayonets. Over here, Russia's starting to break. As cavalry charged in as well. It's turning sour for us quite quickly, unfortunately. But still, in the moment, and I did stream this battle, so you guys could go and watch, you know, the stream of this battle, because it was intense for a little bit there. Our ally over here, he's just, unfortunately, running out of men as well. I mean, I'm running out of men, he's running out of men. No cavalry.
We've taken a building, sir.
Whatever I have left is kind of bunched up here. Not a lot of it left France has even started pushing on the flank here. Russia's still holding strong on this flank, but, you know, it's not going to be probably for very long. Man, I'd be surprised you can see anything, you know? I'm assuming the sound is just glitched because, like I said, too many units in the field, guys. I think we played on large or ultra settings. I actually can't remember now.
Our men are running.
Some ultra funds, large settings. Man, look at this. Look at the bloodbath. I mean, France took such heavy casualties against this lifeguard. They are standing their ground, guys. Russia refuses to give up the ship, or the high ground. And sorry if I'm bouncing around, I'm trying to like figure out how to catch a rhythm of this mod when it comes to the battles, but you know, I'm trying to also, there's so much happening all at once. It was just like an all-out attack, constantly. We have another old guard unit. This thing could easily rout my entire army all on its own. It might just rout my whole army all on its own. Over here you see France is just running down.
Our men are running, sir.
Breaking, like they're just... Oh wow, you got a nice charge off from the old guard, but I don't think it's gonna work. France has yet to take this hill from the lifeguard that are desperately standing strong on here. Man, they are just dropping this French unit. You have, oh yeah, we have a Hussar unit fighting a square and a Musketeer unit. Oh wow.
Our men are running, sir.
Guys, that sums up this battle for the Russians. For us. Just, I don't think it's even a Russian general, but still, that sums it up. I think at this point, I was pretty much over. Yeah, this whole left side has collapsed. I've lost all my units. It's just this Russian ally who's, you know, he's getting totally surrounded here. Kind of making a desperate last stand. Still stubbornly holding on to the high ground. And it does like now we have them fighting in melee after fighting for so long. How many units are attacking this one lifeguard? It's like 1, 2, 3 units, and it's holding them back. How about brave unit? Of course, they do have the LOC right next to them. That's going to kind of be helpful for the morale. Ooh, oh yeah, you guys are going to get a canister shot here. You're going to get to see the canister fire. This is my guns getting one last shot off. Totally missed. Oh! Dude, did you that brutalize 2 units? I don't even know how I did that. I really don't. I'm just a pro gamer. Pro gamer moves right there. Just kidding. I have no idea how that canister worked. More lifeguard now taking on more Imperial Guard. But at this point, guys, I mean, some of the bloodiest fighting was right over here. Some of it, because there was so much of it, but like, you know, it just got scattered all along the side. Dang, the lifeguards still holding on. How? You have some Pavlovsk Grenadiers. You have a general nearby for the French. Oh, they finally do break. Just a lot of melee at this point. I promise for the future, guys, I will fix the sound bug. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's a little disappointing. You know, the sound is half of the cinematic view of this battle. Let's see this officer get some kills. Dang. Oh well, I think that's basically. I'm just
Our men are running.
Yeah, so I think our problem was, we had one army until it was too late. When we threw that army up, we didn't have a chance to even really do a whole lot. We had one army holding this whole side,
All hope
and
is lost,
two
sir.
armies.
This battle is almost done.
One after that one army, and it ended up we just ended up getting murdered. But you can see here, obviously, not as good of kills on our side. Although I feel like some of these kills probably from running down routing troops. That's usually what happens, especially in Borodino when you're pushing and running into enemy troops. But you have on our side, you have Nix. He was a far right flank. So, over by Borodino itself, he got 10-63 for the kills. Noid, he was holding that center reabout with the Unicorns, 1508 for the kills. Me, I was reinforcing army with 910, and then Tintin was left side. Got hit pretty hard by the French. On the other side, Captain with 1353, Arnett 1585, and K with 2396, and Boncat with 1008. So, it was a fierce fight. Still some heavy losses for the French, so in some ways still historically accurate. I feel like they definitely brought, let's see, we brought more men than they did, I think. 34 and 36, and 25 and 26, 28, 25, 32, 20. I mean, I bet they probably evened out in the end. But you can see my artillery did some insanely good kills. My left guard, man, they held in that line for a long time, all by themselves. The rest of my troops didn't get too many kills because I had to throw them in a melee pretty early on. Didn't get a chance to do a whole lot of shooting. I hate being the reinforcing army in the back, but, you know, it's still a fun game. And more to come. We'll probably try to do some more historical battles. So, but anyway, guys, that will be the video today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all for the support on the channel. And welcome to all of you guys that are new. We've had like a huge influx of new subscribers. So, thank you for that. And like I said, welcome. I hope you guys stick around for more streams and more NTW videos of any of these mods. I'm going to try the pike and shot later, hopefully, and yeah. Well, anyway, guys, you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.